The dense woods stretched endlessly before her, the towering trees whispering ancient secrets, their gnarled branches twisting into ominous shapes under the fading light. Clara had ventured too far into the forest, searching for a place she could escape from the heavy weight of her thoughts. She had heard rumors about the woods, but nothing could prepare her for what lay ahead. It was on the 4th day of her hike that she encountered him. The sun was low, casting long shadows across the forest floor. Clara was lost in her own world, her thoughts spinning like the falling autumn leaves around her. The path she had been following was barely visible now, and the growing chill in the air made her pull her jacket tighter. She considered turning back, but the haunting beauty of the forest had captivated her too deeply. That's when she saw him. He stood at the edge of a clearing, his figure partially obscured by the mist rising from the ground. His face was shadowed, and his clothes were a strange mix of old-fashioned and tattered, like someone who had been lost to time. He didn't seem to notice her at first, staring into the distance as if waiting for something or someone. Clara's breath caught in her throat. Every instinct told her to turn and run, but her feet were frozen. She had read about spirits and ghosts in old folklore, and this man, with his impossibly still presence, looked like something from those stories. A strange force tugged at her curiosity, urging her forward. "Are you lost?" Clara called out, her voice shaky but louder than the silence that enveloped them both. The man didn't move. He stood motionless, his back turned toward her, but Clara felt the weight of his attention. Slowly, he turned his head, and she saw his eyes for the first time, deep pools of black, like endless voids. They were void of warmth, void of life. "I'm not lost," his voice rasped, as though it had not been used in years. "I'm waiting." Clara didn't know what to say. Her heart pounded in her chest, and the cool air seemed to tighten around her. The world felt wrong, as though the trees themselves were holding their breath, watching. "For what?" Clara finally managed to ask. The man didn't respond immediately. He simply raised a hand, pointing toward a distant hill where the last rays of sunlight disappeared behind a massive oak tree. "Something comes when the sun sets," he said, his voice low and urgent. "Something that doesn't belong here. It will be hungry. You need to leave before it finds you." Clara's mind raced. Was this a madman, or was he trying to warn her? She had heard of strange figures in the forest, guides to lost souls, but the stories were just that, stories. Was this a dream? Was she caught in some twisted illusion? The man took a step closer, his movements unnaturally slow, deliberate. "Do you feel it?" he whispered. "The earth is trembling. It knows what's coming."